So yeah, let's just get right into it, bro.
Let's do it, man.
So episode 3, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. First impressions.
It's just a whole, like, it's got my mind going, like, wild.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There is so much plot in this one episode moving forward. I like it, but I feel like these shows are a little rushed. You know what I mean? Like with certain scenes, it seems like if there was a movie, they would flesh the whole scene out, and then they're just jumping to thing to thing to thing. I like that. It's a lot better. Not trashing on WandaVision, but I think it's better that we know what's going on and we can expect stuff, and it's fun that the plot is actually going somewhere.
Definitely.
And telling us where it's going.
Well, WandaVision on its own was just, I thought of it more of a experimental film.
For sure.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, it was so weird and wacky and
and I think it fits because that's kind of Wanda. You know?
That's
like,
true.
She is weird and wacky and all, and I think where they wanted to take it, I think WandaVision was just like perfect.
Yeah.
This obviously has its own purpose.
Yeah.
And just episode 3, I feel like there's like just so much. They just keep leaving us with a bunch of like questions, you know?
Yeah.
They keep introducing all these new people, or not new.
Wouldn't say new, but just adding
reintroducing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People who you wouldn't necessarily expect.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, obviously we knew about Zemo, but just like his whole role.
Yeah, the fact that he was rich and nobody knew about that, you know?
He's got money.
That was perfect. That's awesome, man. It's crazy. And it kind of added a little bit more to Civil War because I liked Zemo in that movie, but my only issue was like, they said that he was part of some death squad and stuff like that, but I was like, how is this one dude like figuring out all these things and going through like if he's just a dude, right? But if this dude's wealthy, has money, like, and that's all he could focus on, you know, makes a little more sense, gives him more depth. And I don't know, I loved him in this freaking episode so much.
I really love the way they're taking this because at this point, a Winter Soldier and Falcon, they've just lost their backing. With the U.S. government.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and they don't necessarily have a Tony Stark to rely on and like resources. Yeah. So it's like Zemo is kind of like filling in this whole.
That is true.
This whole area, like, where are they getting all these like resources from? Like, I would not be surprised if they kind of worked together and got like this whole upgrade.
Yeah.
Thing.
That's true.
Zemo's money.
That'd be cool. That would be dope. I didn't even think of that.
Because there is this whole thing where Falcon, his whole suit and everything, they mentioned it's owned by the government. Yeah. So they're like tracking him and everything, and that's probably why we haven't seen him in his like whole Falcon outfit.
Sure. Yeah, this whole episode he didn't really have it. They were being kind of stealthy and stuff, but Sam was at like such a disadvantage, you know, because he didn't have his wings, and that's all he really has, you know.
Exactly. So I think Zemo's going to kind of fill that.
I see that
point in because they've shown that Sam is smart enough to be kind of like techie and
he was in the first episode working on Red Wing and stuff.
But he doesn't have the resources that Zemo does.
That's true. That is true. And that shall be interesting.
I think they're going to show kind of like, I think both Zemo and the
the chick, Sharon?
No, the whole like unit that they're after.
The Flag Smashers.
The Flag Smashers. Yes. Yeah. I think the Flag Smashers and Zemo, they're gonna end up being good.
Sure. I think I was talking to somebody about this not too long ago. This series is doing such a good job leaving everything in a gray zone. Yeah. It's almost like depending on your point of view and stuff, you're deciding who's good and bad, you know? Like, and they're doing so good on that. Well, okay. Take my word back a little bit. I like that with the Flag Smashers because at first it was like, oh, the freedom fighters, like, and you kind of understand their point of view. And then Carly just offed everybody in that building, you know? You're like, oh yeah, you are bad, you know? Like, I kind of wish they didn't do that. So I still kind of like, not that I don't have empathy for the Flag Smashers. It all makes sense on what they're doing and what they're saying. I love the line where they said they care more about the people who blipped away. Oh, no, blipped back than the people who were left here to stay, you know? Yeah. And that's so true.
But if you think about it, it's like the Flag Smashers, before they were blipped, they were just like nice, everyday, like,
yeah, they were a community.
People.
Yeah.
And she even talked about how she wanted to be a teacher and all that. So, like, obviously she's not like this whole evil person.
Yeah.
But with
it's the circumstances that she's in right now.
Yeah, but with a serum that she got and that they are all kind of getting, there's this whole other side coming to her. But, I mean, if we think about Bucky and kind of where he came from, like him being the evil, like, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then him all of a sudden kind of like coming back to who he used to be. And him not being seen as a villain.
But he's still in a gray area. But like big time, you know?
He's in a gray area and he could easily turn, but it's not something that like he wants to do.
Sure.
You know, it's all kind of like he loses control.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily what he wants to do. And I think that's kind of where the Flag Smashers are. And I think they could easily, or not easily, but I think they could be converted onto like, and like they could realize that what they're doing is just bad. I mean, we saw it in WandaVision where she was doing these horrible things.
That's true.
And eventually she saw that what she was doing was just like, oh shoot, I gotta like, stop this and like back off.
Chill, yeah.
So I could see the Flag Smashers doing this. And what's awesome, I mean, Flag Smashers, Zemo, Falcon, Winter Soldier, what is it, Christine?
Sharon.
Sharon
Carter, I think is. No, it is Sharon Carter.
Yeah, Sharon. All of them together going against John Walker.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Okay, so let's dive into the beginning of this episode, which I love. This is my favorite opening to any Disney Plus show yet, because we see the GRC, and this is. Can you look it up? What does it stand for again? The GRC. It's Global Repatriation.
I know what you're talking about.
Commission or whatever. I put it up on the last podcast. I keep forgetting. But pretty much it's like the whole world, like this organization's helping the whole world with everybody flipping back. And they're the perfect people in this commercial. And you're like, I'm seeing through that BS, you know. Yeah. And then it cuts directly to this truck pulling up and it's GRC. It's a military group. And then it's John Walker there. You're like, oh, I loved that. That was perfectly set up, you know. And then they break into the people who were housing the Flag Smashers, I think in the second episode or whatever. And I thought John Walker was going to kill that guy. I think by the end of the series, he's going to snap and kill somebody he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy. And I can't wait for that. But they're planting the seeds that this dude's going to snap, you know? Like, this dude's not stable whatsoever being Captain America. The dude spit on him, and he was like, do you know who I am? And then the dude's like, I don't care who you are, you know?
And I mean, you see this kind of coming into play when you see Zemo and you see everyone kind of talking about the mantle and how like
stupid it is. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you guys care about that? Like, that's stupid, you know? It's very interesting how they're doing that. I like that. Did you ever get the?
Yeah, it's Global Repatriation. I don't know how to say that. Council.
All right, whatever that is. We'll see if that ends up staying. I'm sure it will. Like in the Marvel universe, like past all these shows and stuff like that. Like that's just going to be another evil probably organization who's trying to take advantage of the situation. You know.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I mean, I see John Walker going towards like, we need to take these people out and kill them because they're bad.
Yeah.
And I can see Sam and Bucky
sympathizing with
them kind of seeing like the gray area and them seeing like, oh no, these are just good people, they're just totally confused, and we don't need to take them out kind of thing. So I can see them working together in that regards and eventually just kind of turning on
that'd be sick.
On John Walker, because I think for him it's just like, no, they're bad, we need to take him out,
because he needs to be Captain America.
He needs to be Captain America, and that's kind of been his like whole training. And him, it's like we've already seen he's not afraid to go dark.
Yeah.
To get the job done.
Yeah, and he's going to, man.
And for him, he needs to get the job done.
I think by the end of the show, he's going to end up taking the super soldier serum. So we find out in the show that this show gave us so much plot.
Yeah.
So there was 20 serums made by that one scientist dude.
And only 8 have been taken, right?
Only 8. So there's 12 out there. I don't know, like, if Carly, she must have the 12 or what she's doing with the rest of them. But I think John Walker maybe will, like, get through to the Flag Smashers or at least find them and then end up taking them. Maybe him and his partner. We'll see.
Do you think that's why he's so, like, into, like...
Maybe the Flag Smasher. Yeah, well, after he got his butt kicked.
He wants
the
super soldiers.
For sure. The dude got an ego, bro. Like the biggest ego of all time, you know?
Like, he can't be Captain America without, having the Captain American strength and everything. And for him, that's, like, everything, so...
Yeah, it's very true. Can you see if... it's already on. I want to just see how it looks with that light off, if it's fine.
Every time I go to try to look...
Yeah, I know. It turns on. That's yeah, so I definitely see him end up like taking or stealing the super soldier serum, taking it for himself, and then that will maybe be like an end battle kind of a thing. I don't know what's gonna happen, but
yeah. Well, I want to ask you this aspect of it, because as far as X-Men go, I'm not too like savvy on the X-Men side of things, and I've been hearing that there is a lot of X-Men crossover going on.
Madripoor.
So
that whole city.
Explain this to
yes.
me.
Okay. So that whole city. And me too. I'm not super familiar with anything X-Men. I'm excited to learn a bunch when the MCU, because I love Marvel. I do love the comics, but I'm more of like, I'll start learning the characters when MCU introduces them, you know, kind of a thing. Especially with X-Men. But Madripoor is this fictional city. It's not a real city, and it just has a lot of ties to mutants and Wolverine. There was a bar. I forgot what the bar was called, but it showed the bar. It wasn't the monkey bar that they were in, but there was another like one when they were walking through the streets. Wolverine goes there all the time, like all the time. So me and you were talking about this, that Marvel's so good at planting seeds. So when we go back to Madripoor, it's like, oh yeah, we know where that place is. Oh yeah, and we saw that bar. Of course, Wolverine's gonna be there. You know,
like nothing's ever super just like sprung on.
Yeah.
You know?
Try to talk a little bit more. I think it might be flipped the wrong way. Talk real quick. I think it might be the other side that you have to talk. Just flip it. You could no. You could like turn it all the way around. There you go. Boom. Now I'm talking to it real quick. Just talking to it. There's a side of the microphone that you have to talk into.
Yeah. Okay. Is it this side?
That side. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just turn around then.
Okay. So that's the city that they went to, is Madripoor, and that's like a lawless city. It's like, I don't know. It seemed too lawless to me, bro. Everyone's walking around with guns and stuff, and it just looked horrible. Like not a place you wanted to be, you know. I thought that was funny. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I keep forgetting her name. Sharon?
Mm-hmm.
Is that her name? Yeah. Okay. So we all knew she was kind of a badass.
Yeah.
But
she's
she is
cool.
way more
she's
of a
dope.
badass than we thought.
Let me hit you with this, bro. So a lot of people are theorizing, and I don't think she's the power broker, but I think she has some kind of influence or ties to the power broker, the way that they're setting her up.
I keep hearing that.
Yeah.
But I'm also now hearing you talk about this whole X-Men thing.
Uh-huh.
Is she working with the X-Men? Like, does she have a
or
connect
just
with
some
Wolverine,
mutant, you know,
whoever it is?
Who knows?
I mean, if you say that they're all kind of there, Wolverine hangs out at the bar and everything, and if they showed that,
I don't think we'll see Wolverine or any X-Men in the show. There was theories of this guy called Omega Red. He's a big Wolverine villain and stuff like that. He's another person who got the super soldier serum, but he's also a mutant.
Yeah.
I could see maybe even he's the power broker, you know, like we'll see. But they're already planting seeds. They couldn't use Madripoor. That's what Kevin Feige said. They couldn't even use the city prior to getting the rights back from Fox and all that. So they couldn't even use the city. And the fact that we got this in the second Disney Plus show, you know, like I see online all the time, people are like, stop theorizing about like the Fox characters and stuff coming over because it's going to be forever. I was like, no, like they're doing it now, you know, like why not? Why wouldn't they do that right now? Sure, they have all these characters that they could use and keep telling stories with, like we saw with Phase 4 is pretty much all the same characters other than like Blade and other characters like that. But let's plant seeds. Let's put mutants in all of these stories to eventually come and have an X-Men movie. Like, we don't have to necessarily have all these individual movies through the X-Men.
Yeah.
Let's just plant seeds the whole time. Very interesting. I like that a lot.
I think so too. And I mean, just when you're talking about, we had WandaVision where she's kind of like, we've kind of like had a like slight glimpse of like mutants.
Sure. Oh yeah, with Monica and stuff like that.
We're getting it again in Falcon, with this whole city being exposed.
Yeah.
And then with all the talks with Doctor Strange and all,
something's gonna happen, man. It's going to be interesting. And I have a feeling it's going to be in a way that nobody's expecting with the X-Men. Like, I think everybody's kind of putting expectations for what they expect, I guess you could say, with mutants and stuff like that. But Marvel doesn't want to do things the same exact way that Fox did it. They're going to do it completely different. It's going to be very interesting how they do that.
And
I just hope it's not too dark, man. It's going to make me so upset if it is. We're having light issues. I gotta just unscrew this light. That's fine. Yeah, it'll be super interesting how X-Men end up integrating, you know. But again, planting the seeds now, so why not somebody show up sooner or later?
Yeah, and I can see them totally doing this whole situation like when they did with WandaVision, where they definitely hinted towards Doctor Strange, and like everyone was all like, "We're gonna see Doctor Strange." I think you were even and like they didn't even introduce him and all.
Not at all.
Kind of like, it's like they're, like you said, kind of planting these little seeds, and then eventually we're gonna get just like hit with it.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I just can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting, man.
So sick.
MCU is definitely expanding in all the right ways. To go back to the power broker thing, so. Some people are thinking it's Sharon, and I think that's too obvious. I think, like, of course, everyone's going to think maybe it's Sharon because she's a super wealthy person and whatnot. I think she might have ties to the power broker, and a lot of people are saying, why not General Ross? Over the 5 years of that blip, who knows what that dude, if he didn't get dusted, who knows what he was doing? Yeah. And we know he's obsessed with trying to figure out how to recreate the super soldier serum. That's what happened with Hulk. That was him trying. And then Hulk happened. So what if after the blip, so that scientist, okay, so General Ross could have built up power, let's say, because there probably was no government. They're like, we still don't really know everything that happened during that 5 years during the blip. It was probably chaos, you know? Yeah. But General Ross could have grew power anywhere. And that scientist said he was working on super soldier serum. He was almost there, and then he got dusted. But as soon as he came back, the power broker was like, hey, you could come work for me. And that would fit perfectly with General Ross because he's obsessed with trying to recreate the super soldier serum or just control over superheroes in general. That would also make sense. I kind of want it to be somebody who we don't know yet, you know, and let's introduce another character for power broker. But we'll see what ends up happening with that. I think... that would be sick if he is the power broker, you know. I feel like, well, I don't know.
I mean, do you think the power broker is even going to play a big role moving forward, though?
For sure. Just because how much they're bringing him up. The last episode was titled Power Broker. Yeah. So I think we end up seeing who that is because the power broker wants to kill the Flag Smashers. That's when, that's the people who showed up when they were leaving in the plane. They said, like, oh, the power broker's coming. And all of those people who showed up in the Humvees looked very like a government official, you know. They look like the same exact people who were in the Black Widow trailer. When we see General Ross in one of the trailers walking, it looks like the same exact like people who would show up, you know. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. That'd be interesting. I don't know. Okay. Yeah.
One of the big ones that also got me, and I think one of the more obvious ones as well. It's this show's incorporation with Wakanda.
Oh my gosh, bro. That was crazy. I did not see that coming whatsoever. Like, not at all.
I mean, once you look back at it, you're like, yeah, they were talking about it.
Sure, yeah.
With Zeno's whole introduction.
Like, do you think they're gonna forget about that? Yeah, you know, like you literally killed the king of Wakanda. You know, of course they're gonna show up. They're angry.
That's who that girl was?
Yes. So she what's her name? It's like, can you look up her name? I think it's Oya. I think is her name.
She's like the general.
She was in Civil War. She was also in Black Panther and stuff. But she was always kind of like the bodyguard, you know?
Yeah, she's
what is the group of the ladies called? Something Mirage or
I just saw that.
It's Dora Mirage, I think, something like that.
Her name is Ayo.
Ayo.
And then.
But that's sick, man. Like I had no idea that was coming, but it all makes sense, you know.
It does.
Even when he was picking up the little things, I did not make the correlation that those are the little bracelets that they wear in Wakanda, you know? Like, not at all.
I didn't think so either. Yeah. I was kind of like, what could that be?
Uh-huh.
I kept just thinking that it was just... I thought the John Walker was there.
Okay.
And they were planting kind of like things to like hear them or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then with Bucky, all of a sudden, he obviously just like noticed them. Mm-hmm. How? I have no clue.
Super soldier, you know, enhanced hearing or something like that. That's always the excuse. Yeah.
But him just going through, picking them up, and then all of a sudden, just like him knowing who it is, and then just I'm just like, the moment I saw her, I was like,
yeah,
I was just like speechless.
It's dope. So now I want to see like in episode 4 how much influence does Wakanda have in the series now? Like, is it like?
Well, what I'm just like speculating is we obviously lost our main like Black Panther, and they've talked about how they're not going to bring back that exact a character, but they're going to like reintroduce Black Panther in a new way. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if we're gonna get that in this episode.
Probably planting seeds. Well, I had this theory that they said a couple months ago that they're planning on making a Wakandan Disney Plus series.
Yeah. What
perfect way than to oh man, do you know the name? Can you look up the name of the group of women? Because I don't want to butcher that.
Lavia. Oh wait.
No, it's like the group of like all the bodyguards. You know
what you're talking about.
Perfect introduction. Let's get this Ayo. Like, I don't know her name. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I'm sorry, but we get her and she's involved in this, and there's some ties, but and then that goes directly into another Disney Plus show with that group of women and what they do, and because we don't really know what's going on with that, you know. That would be interesting.
Well, here's what would be really cool. And I don't know if we'll necessarily get it in this show just because it seems too big of a thing to introduce for this kind of a show.
Yeah.
Is the introduction to who the next Black Panther would be.
Yeah.
Maybe we would get the character come in and not necessarily be like the next Black Panther.
Yeah.
But we would at least have like a introduction to that character. Just because I could see Marvel doing this. We saw it with the original Black Panther, where Black Panther was introduced in
Civil War.
And then when they had the Black Panther movie, it was already like no need for an introduction.
Yeah.
Just straight into action.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I could totally see them doing something like this again.
Yeah. What if they even... I don't think they would do this, and maybe it's probably way too soon, but... So we don't really know how they're going to handle him not being in the MCU anymore, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
I don't know. So they're not recasting. They said they're not going to do a digital double like they did with Paul Walker with the Fast and Furious series. What if they start planting seeds right now saying that like their king is sick or something like that, or like I don't know how they're going to handle it, if they're even going to bring it up at all. Like I feel like they have to for the continuity of MCU to like, where's Black Panther? He's like, he was going to be the leading person, right?
Oh, that's a great point.
So what if they start planting seeds now? You know, like, oh, our king is sick, or it's something very subtle is brought up. So we're like, oh, okay, you know. But they got to do it in the most perfect way to honor him. And I don't know if bringing it up this soon is the right way. I don't know how they're handling it. You know, we'll see.
Well, it's just like we don't like have a role for them yet. We know the Wakandan people. Just gonna call them that.
Wakandans.
Wakandans are like involved in this whole situation. or in this movie, but we don't know their role yet.
They want to kill Zemo. They want Zemo gone, bro. They killed King T'Chaka.
But Bucky and Sam aren't going to let them do that.
No,
so, like,
Sam won't. But no. Bucky won't too. But I think it's interesting that they helped Bucky out, bro. They helped him with his mind control thing. They kept him on Wakanda, so he owes them. But they want to kill Zemo, but he needs Zemo. That is so interesting how they're doing all those layers to that situation. I don't know. Like,
you think there's gonna be a battle there?
I don't know. Like, maybe, bro. Maybe. Who knows?
That would be so crazy.
Because, like, to be honest, screw Zemo, right? He killed him, just to break apart the Avengers, and the Wakandans aren't going to forgive that. So
yeah.
So yeah, I love that that's introduced. You always forget that. I want Wakanda in general to play a bigger role in the MCU moving forward. Just Wakanda as a place, and being referenced more. And I love that. I mean, already we're getting characters from Wakanda and stuff like that. It's very interesting. I
want to get back to this whole thing, and the deal that Sam made with
Sharon.
Mm-hmm. What strikes me, and they even mention it, Bucky was able to get
if he was getting pardoned, then
pardoned.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: she's supposed to be Nick Fury's person.
She was working with him.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. And Nick Fury wasn't afraid to break rules, right?
Yeah.
So why would she be the one who gets exiled, pretty much? And not get any kind of pardon.
Well, think about it, because Nick Fury's gone. Like, he's not really a presence on Earth anymore. It's more General Ross and the government and stuff.
But he's still kind of is.
He's like in Sword, right? Well, no, he faked his death. Remember, people think he's dead still.
Yeah,
I think most people probably think he's dead. I don't know. That's interesting. I think most people think he's dead, right? Because he faked the death, and then he came back and got rid of Hydra and Winter Soldier, and then past that, he kind of went off the grid in Age of Ultron.
No, he wasn't.
He was off the grid.
Dude, he was around during that whole Spider-Man.
But that was Talos. Oh, wait, you're right. They are kind of... But that was more secret. They were underground. They were in the tunnels.
Why wouldn't they have her with them, though?
Sharon? I don't know. Well, that's all Sword. And they were Skrulls. In that movie, they were Skrulls. You remember that? And Nick Fury's in space right now.
This whole time, they could have been Skrulls. We
still
haven't gotten...
Sharon might be a Skrull. We don't know. We have Secret Invasion coming up. They need to start kind of figuring out who's going to be...
She could be a Skrull.
Bro, she might be a Skrull. Who knows? That's gonna be horrible. That's gonna be everybody's excuse for everything that somebody does. They'd be like, it's a Skrull,
I mean, one of the things is she going to go dark? Because I could easily, I could easily see her using them kind of to get back, kind of like
the Super Soldier Serum, maybe, or maybe she was helping the Power Broker out. Maybe she's involved with that. And there was when she got in the car after they left, she was like, "We got problems. We got actually a lot of problems. I'll tell you in the car." Like, she's the boss lady, I'm interested to see her role now. It's cool that. Because of that 5 years, we have no idea who's doing what now, we don't know past those 5 years who she turned into, what kind of person she is.
I think the reason she's exiled is because she's dark.
Sure.
I think that's the reason. And I think Sam and Bucky are kind of playing with fire right now.
Yeah.
Because they don't know who she is.
And playing with Zemo, bro. They're definitely out there.
No, I think Zemo... Yeah, they're playing with Zemo, and Zemo could...
Because we don't know his motivations either. He was in jail. He's a bad guy. He wants to obviously get rid of the... I loved his line when he said, if somebody has the Super Soldier Serum, they can make an army like the Avengers. Yeah. I love that. He hates the Avengers, and I love that. It's perfect. We don't... past them getting the Super Soldier Serum, where is Zemo going to end up?
But he's definitely more... He's definitely more against the Flag Smashers than he is necessarily about Sam and Bucky and all.
Yeah, not holding grudges against them, even though they were Avengers.
I'm curious to see, though, if Zemo's going to find, that one phrase that strikes the Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
That would be so dope.
That'd be crazy. And oh my God, when they were playing the roles, when they went to Madripoor, he was like, Winter Soldier, attack, like as if, like, because he's playing the Winter Soldier. Oh, it's so perfect, man.
I mean, they definitely already kind of, like, they had him say the whole, like, oh, that was easier kind of thing.
Oh, when he was like, oh, look how easy he fell back into formation,
Like, I think they're giving us, like, an Easter egg, kind of like, oh.
He's okay, so my original theory, and I still think the Thunderbolts are going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I think the government version of the Avengers is going to happen. I think a Taskmaster is going to be a part of that. I could see Bucky being a part of that because he's in such a gray area. He has no purpose right now. He's trying to find purpose in who he is, like past being the Winter Soldier and being a horrible person all these years. Sure, if the government asked him to go fight and be part of these Avengers people, of course he would go. And if it had some shady part of it, it doesn't really seem like it phases him. Like he doesn't really care.
Do you think he'll actually pick up the mantle then?
I don't know. And oh my God, I didn't think Marvel would do that.
Yeah.
I thought like, okay, Sam's the next Captain America. No, they're really playing with the fact that like Bucky kind of felt like, no, I could have probably been Captain America too, you know? And they're going deep into it, bro. When they were flying on the plane, he was like, that symbol meant a lot of things to a lot of people, including me.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to pick it up, I'm going to be the one to do it. Love it. It's great. It's great. It's great storytelling.
I loved the car scene, though, between him and...
yeah, that callback. Yeah, it was perfect, man.
You're not going to push the seat forward, are you? Nope.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. There were so many callbacks. Even like Zemo's like... the music that they used in Civil War for Zemo came back, that's what Marvel does so good, is like tying things back to original stuff and little callbacks, and it's great.
I did love how we got a whole like human side to Zemo, especially like in the bar scene where they're all kind of dancing and partying,
My dude was getting it, I was like, hey, Madripoor kind of lit,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's so awesome, man. And his little butler, he was like, if it doesn't pass the smell test, give it to them, he got a little evil butler, like.
I kind of heard, I don't know where I saw this, but I heard this whole rumor or conspiracy, I guess, whatever you want to call it, that the like old butler is like the next Jarvis kind of thing.
Jarvis?
Yeah.
To Zemo? Zemo's the next Iron Man?
Not that he would be the next Iron Man, but I mean, he already like, he's got his whole like persona, like with his mask and everything. I could definitely see him.
I want to see more Zemo. I want Zemo to expand and become its own like major villain maybe in the future.
I think he would be. I don't think he'd be a villain. I think he'd be like a gray area person.
Anti-hero kind of a thing.
Yeah, like he's not a villain, but he's also like anti-heroes.
I hope they don't kill him off at the end of the series. Marvel does that all the time with their freaking villains. They kill them off, and I'm like, why? Keep them, please.
I don't think he'll be killed off. I
hope not.
I want to say that he will just kind of, he'll pull a White Vision and just kind of like,
and dip off.
Where'd he go?
I'm not over that, bro. I'm Vision. Wow, bro, we got people to fight. Where are you going? Like, what's going on here, bro?
He just dips out. He's like,
God.
It ain't my fight. I'm out.
I know. Oh, my gosh. He was like, I was trying to get away from that Psycho B a long time ago, bro. Wanda.
What the heck?
He was like, and then she trapped me in here. And now I'm a person again? I'm out. And he was out of there.
Oh, for sure.
That's hilarious.
Wait, before we go, is there is there a timer thing on that?
On what?
On the camera again? Or did you guys figure that out?
It didn't turn off, right?
No, it didn't.
No, so we ended up figuring out that the like the little screen that could flip, it can't flip all the way around so you could see, but you could open it, and that's where all the heat is staying right there. So we did that, and then we got that fan on it now, so it's not turning off.
Okay.
And then I was working, and I had this realization because I was just thinking about the camera and how much I hated it. I was like, oh my God, like I'm charging it to 100% right before we start filming. The battery's going to be super hot after I'm done charging it. So that's what I did today. I charged it earlier today and then was able to use it. Yeah. Yep. Sweet, man. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? trying to think if we missed anything.
I'm sure
Sam playing the what was the guy's name? Smiling Tiger. They showed him the picture. It's literally him. That's hilarious. I love that.
So this is actually kind of cool, and I think we've kind of had like a whole like introduction to it, where Bucky announces himself as the White Wolf.
Oh yeah, in the second episode, that was hilarious. That's great.
And that's a Wakandan thing. And now we have the Wakandans introducing themselves.
What if he ends up going under that title from here on out? Like, dude, I'm the White Wolf.
He might.
That would be dope. That'd be sick. There was a trailer where it showed him taking off his metal arm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it looked all very Wakandan, where his nub would be. I think maybe we see the Wakandan lady helping him out with his arm, maybe, and maybe upgrading his arm. We'll see. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely see him becoming the White Wolf for sure.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I would love that. White Wolf on the Thunderbolts. With the White Wolf Taskmaster. Okay, so if you were to make, how about this? We'll end on this. If you were to make your own Thunderbolts team with the characters that we have already, where are you going with it? And think about it. Thunderbolts are typically evil people that the government... It's pretty much Suicide Squad. Imagine a Marvel version of Suicide Squad, that the government is controlling these evil people to be their Avengers and do their dirty work for them.
I mean, obviously John Walker.
Okay, yeah. I see him going under the title U.S. Agent with them,
Yes. Zemo. For sure.
He'd be the leader.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I mean, if Zemo can figure out how to trigger Winter Soldier...
That's true. So what if this is another theory that I thought of the other day, was the Thunderbolts. What if we end up getting them? In Black Widow, the new Red Room, they're fully conscious but no choices with whatever serum that they gave them. What if the Thunderbolts, we end up seeing all of these people, Winter Soldier, oh my gosh. Did you see the new trailer today for Black Widow?
Black Widow, no.
Yeah, the new trailer dropped today. It's like a little bit more,
Okay.
I think Taskmaster is mind controlled. I think it's the same exact situation as the Winter Soldier, because there was a scene in the trailer where this dude, I don't know who the dude is, but he told him, he was like, bring her home to me. And it seemed like Taskmaster was standing there. He has his mask on, sure, but it looked like he was kind of being like a puppet. And what if he has that serum too, where he's fully controlled, and we see the government giving that to all of these people so they're controlled, and that's the Thunderbolt. So we got Bucky mind controlled again. We have Taskmaster mind controlled, and then all of these people who are just following under the government's orders because they have to. That'd be interesting. Sorry, just went on a rant right now.
So where do you think the MCU would take that beyond that?
I don't know. The only reason why I think the Thunderbolts are perfect right now is because there's no Avengers. There's nobody to kind of pick up that mantle. We'll see where Falcon goes with Captain America, and if that ends up building into something. But the world's in chaos. There's no real heroes. There's no team to save anybody. And the country needs a team. They need something to protect them. So they create the Thunderbolts, and they're going to announce them as the new Avengers, but they're all mind controlled and then horrible people. And then we'll kind of see them playing through that. I don't know what their role will be going forward in stories and stuff like that, but that's going to be your political thriller that Marvel always does, with also the crazy comic book multiverse with Doctor Strange on Earth and all this other stuff. We'll have both simultaneously going on at the same time. And we'll see. I don't know. I have a very strong theory that we'll see the Thunderbolts.
I think it would be too early to introduce them.
No, I don't think in the series, not at all. I think the show will build up to that. Maybe at the very end, we'll see like Bucky end up being not mind controlled, but going to the government, or just something small. Over the rest of these movies, I think Black Widow will also tie into that.
So, do you think this would these villains would end up being the next the next Avengers villain.
Oh, like, maybe
once we get all our heroes put together, they now have to go against.
Sure, heck yeah, man. But we could even see like the Young Avengers when that finally comes. What if the Young Avengers are taking on the Thunderbolts, or if the new Avengers are taking on the Thunderbolts, or anybody? You know, it'll be interesting to see that clash. Very interesting.
I still think that there's more to. Who is it? Ivan. The old guy.
Oh, Isaiah?
Isaiah.
Yeah. Well, they brought him up again.
They keep bringing him up, man.
The scientists, they said that he was able to get traces of a subject. And I love how they're playing that. They're doing this racial injustice perfectly through this show. And they're doing it perfectly, man. I think there's a line that you have to walk with that to not kind of make people mad, but also tell the story that you want to tell and tell it the right way. And I think they're doing it perfectly. So I'm happy that they're doing that. I didn't think Marvel would have the balls to do that, but they've always had, so why not? You know,
I still think that he's gonna play a big role.
Oh yeah, we got bet on this. Forgot that.
Did you want to announce your bet?
Yeah.
Your bet?
What was it? It was $20, right, or something like that.
I thought it was $5.
All right. This guy thinks Isaiah is gonna come back and have a fight scene, and I said no. So that's what the bet is. Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so so we put $5.
It could happen. Yeah, we did.
So
we did.
So anyone watching, can keep
hold me accountable.
Keep either one of us accountable.
There you go.
I personally think that there's going to be a fight scene or a kind of a big action scene with him.
If he does anything with punching somebody in the face or anything, I'll give you $5.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be like a active person in the future. No. I don't think that. But I think he'll for sure have a action scene. And by action scene, I'm not talking about showing showing a flashback. I'm talking about in present time. Yeah.
And I want you guys to know that I'm not gonna be upset if that happens. If Sam's if they have to form a team to go fight somebody, and he's like, "Let's go get Isaiah," I'll be like, "Yeah!" I'd flip out. I'd be like, "Heck yeah, that would be dope." Put him in a Captain America suit. We got him, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and everybody going against John Walker and whoever they end up fighting. That would be lit. I would love that.
I personally think that it's gonna play out in a way that we see Sam going back to Isaiah and being like, we need to take care of this particular situation. Whatever the situation is, Isaiah being like, nah, I'm not getting involved or whatever. And Sam and Bucky and everyone, them all being in a fight situation where they're losing. And Isaiah just kind of coming in for that one thing and just boom, 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 kicking butt.
Get out of my house! And
pretty much just giving that whole, Falcon and whoever else is involved just that little edge they need to
the little
back
push.
up. Yeah,
sure.
exactly. I think that's more what it's going to be like.
I see that.
But I could be wrong too. I've been wrong before.
We'll see, man. We shall see.
I've lost money at casinos.
Me too. All right, man. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it, man. This is super fun. We'll do it again, All right, man. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.